how do you know what discipline looks like if you've never seen discipline?
Game time. So yeah, stay true to who you are. Stand on something.
What is up, YouTube? I am back with another video, and guess what it is? It's Fresh Fade Friday. So I'm back here at the barbershop with my dog. We're about to play pool for a free haircut. You know, if I lose, I gotta pay double. But if I win, I get a free cut. So let's get into it.
Bro, you know you finna owe me double, right? I know you ain't got no game. Stripes.
Hey, bro, you ain't leaving no shot, but either way it go. No cash money. I used to be a pool shark too.
Oh, come on, man.
Football. Side pocket.
Yeah,
And I call
he
him.
ain't got nothing. Look at his English on him. I can tell he ain't got nothing. What I tell y'all. Got it.
Oh my.
And he scratched. Game time. Game time.
He
You owe me double.
He lucky.
You owe me double.
How's it been this week, bro?
It's been going good, bro. You know, I ain't got no complaints. You know, in the barber game, I learned some years ago that between the months of probably January and April, it kind of slow down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it probably slow down again from, I say, October to December. Well, around the holidays, of course, you know, it pick up, but it kind of slow down around the months. You know, but if you got a steady clientele, you able to survive.
When it's summertime, that's when it's hot. You feel me?
Summertime be popping. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Everybody want to cut, you hear me?
As you know, the last video, you know, we got into some good stuff, and you know, this is episode 2. We back. We are back. As you guys seen, I just lost, obviously, but it's okay. You know,
Yeah, he paying double.
we still got next week. Let's get into it, bro. So I know you spent some time, you know, in the system. Did you ever have any like dark days or, you know, days that you felt like you wasn't going to get through, or, you know, some days tougher than the others? Obviously, they're going to be tougher than others, but, you know, how was your mental in there? That's the better question.
I don't know anybody that ever done time, you know, they'll tell you that you have to get a routine. You have to, first of all, you got to accept that you're going to be there.
Was it like a hard transition when you got out, like mentally?
Oh, it was definitely hard. My first time, not so bad because I think I was still so young and reckless. But when I done my first stretch, you know, it was hard because when I done my stretch, I ended up going in a very pivotal time and really in society. You know, cell phones that came out. So like when I left, just imagine being put on the earth, like leaving the earth, no cell phones, being put back on the earth, and then cell phones. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. So that was the time of the beeper, right? And the pager.
Man, look, I grew up in the beeper era, baby. I missed the three-ways, all of that. I grew up in the beeper era. Last thing I knew was pagers, you know. That's how we conducted our business. That's how we got it on, you know, through the pager.
I got a homie he been locked up for about 3 years now, and he's doing a 12-year bid. But I feel like everybody go through it, and this is like something that need to be discussed. He told me that it's dark days in there. Some days he don't know how he's gonna make it through the night and fight depression all the time. I don't know if everybody, you know, go through that who get locked up or whatever. You know, have you ever, you know, witnessed that, been through it? And if so, how did you manage it?
Well, I'm gonna first start out by saying depression is real. It's very much real, you know, and I don't feel any type of way about talking about it. That's what allowed a person to get out of the situation that they're in mentally. It's real, and at the time that I was going through probably my most depressing time, being locked up, I've always had these dark thoughts, and that's just what it is, you know. But it wasn't until afterwards that I found out, you know, I got some issues, I got some serious issues. And a lot of them stem from childhood growing up, being exposed to, the streets, hustling, gang culture, things of that nature. I went through it, but I would say probably some of my darkest days. I ended up losing my mother while I was incarcerated during my bid, during my 8. Because of my disciplinary record, they wouldn't let me go to a funeral, right? Once I found out how to manipulate the system where they wouldn't try to put anyone in the cell with me. It was a lot of days where I questioned that move, you feel me? The human mind is not designed to not have any kind of interaction. It takes a very strong-minded individual to be able to deal with it. If it's taken from you, if it's not something that you asked for. That was some of my darkest times. I went through it. I got through it. Got through it through prayer, praying that...
Prayer is real, bro.
Yeah, prayer is real. For everybody out there listening, man, prayer is real. If you ain't got on your knees to pray in a while, get on your knees and pray. If you give some of it to the big man upstairs, you know what I'm saying? He'll help you out with it.
Right.
He helped me out with it. The thing about guys being incarcerated is this. A lot of cats that's incarcerated, number one, most of them come from a street element. They've done some things, seen some things pretty much their whole life. It's traumatizing, right? But we don't ever look at it like that because we say, this is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to this. This is how I'm raised. PTSD is associated with anybody that's been experienced consistent traumatic situations. You feel me?
Yeah.
So a lot of guys that get locked up and get out, they have PTSD. They suffer from it. You're paranoid, you're depressed, trying to deal with society, but you're really going about that the wrong way because of the simple fact, a lot of that stuff you can't change. What you have to focus on is the thing that you have control over. And that's you, how you feel. You don't have any control over the responses to you, what you've done, and how you feel. You don't have no control over how somebody feel about you. It wasn't up until probably about 7, 8 years ago that I started realizing, man, what you think about me ain't none of my motherfucking business. Peace is key in all of our lives.
I know you didn't want to sell it. I still don't know how you manipulated the system. I guess I'll ask that at a different time. But did you see a counselor or a therapist?
Yeah, well, not while I was in the system, because when you're in the system and you're doing time and you standing on your shit right, you don't realize you don't have time for that. You don't have time to be in your feelings. You don't have time to try to sit and sort out feelings and why is this nah, that's out the window. You know what I'm saying? Those thoughts really you don't even want to have, and then when you start having them, you get rid of them quick because you don't survive like that. You know what I'm saying? When you're there, you're in the belly of the beast, so you got to think like the beast. It sounds crazy, but that's just the way it is. When you're doing time, especially in some of the places where I've done time, where it warranted all your focus. You feel me? Yeah. That was the only way you was gonna survive.
I know a lot of people say that it's good to get therapy and counseling, but I've always been the type to say, okay, I don't need it, and whatever I'm going through, if my people can't help me with it, then I'll deal with it on my own, And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I struggle in between that, but I don't know. I always refuse to sit down and talk to somebody about my problems, an outsider of it is why go talk to a therapist to tell me how to fix a problem that if I just sit down long enough and think that I'll probably figure it out for myself. I got friends that tell me all the time that they went to therapy or they went to counseling and it was helpful for them. But that's for each his own though, but I don't know, I just feel like that's a battle that I've always been struggling,
Well, I won't say that you're right or wrong for thinking that, a person entitled to his own opinion, especially when it comes to yourself, but what I will say, just my opinion, I feel like everybody needs counseling. I feel like everybody needs some sort of therapy because, well, just let me simplify it. Your best thinking got you in the state of mind that you're in. So you mean to tell me that your best thinking gonna get you out of it? Now, of course, it's a such thing to sit down and work things out, do it yourself, but I think everybody at some point in their life needs, especially if you've been in certain situations, or if you hadn't healed from childhood trauma, if you've been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? If you've done a lot of time, some people just have a hard time dealing with the day-to-day functions of just life, you know what I'm saying? So, even those people need therapy because guess what? It's things that just going on, and they're normal, right? They normal things. But something happened to where you've lost the ability to be able to deal with it and control it, and it is normal. So it just kind of like rebooting, going talking to somebody about it. They walking you back through it. And it may be some things that you already know.
So like that's my thing. So like if I got a problem, let's just say I don't have a job and I need money and I'm stressing about it, and then I go to you and be like, hey, I don't know what I should do. I feel like your obvious answer is gonna say like, you know, go hustle, like figure it out. You a man, go get a job, like put yourself in position to get money. And that's the way I look at it as a therapist. Like they gonna tell you the simple thing that you just don't think about, I guess. But I feel like if you sit down and think about it long enough, you'll figure it out. And you're right, the best mind got you in the position that you're at. That's where the self-talk and self-think come in at.
If everybody was able to, man, a lot of people would be in a better situation than we in. Some people don't even know that they have an issue to talk out. If you got an old lady, right? Y'all have arguments, but there's never no solution. You may even agree at the end of the argument, right? Mm-hmm. But there's no solution. You just agreeing. So if it ain't no solution, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have the same problem. I can name a lot of things right now that I know I can get rich on, but it's about applying it, right? I ain't never been rich before, so it's about applying it. So I would actually need someone to help me to be able to put these things in motion that I've said and thought about, you know, mapped out or whatever, you know.
So I've said that before on my channel. Everywhere you look now, people telling you that getting rich is easy. Like on every social media, they talk about how easy it is to be rich, and if you're not rich, you should be doing this. And like you said, if everybody was doing it,
yeah,
they would be
crazy,
rich.
Man, when I see that shit, I keep scrolling on because it's like, that ain't the craziest thing that I've heard, because everybody wants some money, right?
Yeah.
So if it was easy, everybody would be rich.
Everybody don't have the same opportunity. Some people just literally, they can't build, they can't get up out of the hole that they in. Whether it's, you know, some people got children issues where they got maybe too many kids, they don't like, you know, the system got them, just whatever, bro. It's bigger than what the media portray it to be. And that's my biggest issue with it. Because I don't know, you probably still got some hood friends that swore they was gonna make it out the trenches and never made it out. It ain't that they didn't try, it was just something always continued to pull them back. I don't know if that was the group that they was with, you know, their surroundings, their environments. But we had those problems, those everyday problems where those things, you know, will hinder us and pull us back. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it ain't, you know, some people gonna be stuck. You know what? Just to be real with you though, I feel like the only difference between me and the next rich man is discipline. I feel like that's it.
Yeah.
Because see, I can have all the ideas and be as creative and as smart and brilliant, but I can lack discipline. I never get what I want because it's already instilled in me to spend my money, to be a consumer, to not save, to not invest, not even learn how to invest. You know what I'm saying? So that discipline is gonna be very, very hard, right? But you have the people to do it. You have the people to do it, and guess why? Because they want this more than anything. You know, they want this more than anything. You know, when I made a decision to just, you know, just change, man, you know what I'm saying? Get out the street, do something different, you know, here for my kids. It took discipline. You know, it took discipline. Trust me, it took discipline because getting money the fast way was all I knew. You know, running the streets. I was more addicted to the streets and running the streets than I was money, if that makes any sense. The money was just cherry on top.
When you speak of discipline, how do you know what discipline look like if you've never seen discipline? So just like you ran the streets, bro, and I'm sure you had a little bit of guidance, but there's people out there that don't got no guidance at all, and they never seen discipline, so they don't know how it is. I can't tell them to, hey bro, save your money, when he ain't never seen nobody save his money. All he knew is, you know, spend that money quick because you're gonna get it back real quick. I don't know, it's easy to tell somebody to do something, but what if they never seen it?
You want something bad enough, you're gonna seek it and find it.
Now, I think so, because I think that...
That's if you want something bad enough, just like when you was out there hustling, And all you kept saying is, man, I need that right plug, that right plug, that right plug. You ain't gonna stop until you go find it. You want something bad enough, you ain't gonna find it. You ain't gonna stop until you find it. If you ain't never seen discipline before, or never been around nobody that displayed that kind of discipline that you need, right? You go find it. And it start with putting them kind of people in your life. Man, the best thing I ever could have done when I came home was stop associating with my old friends. You know what I'm saying? What good has it got me? And then when you get locked up, half of them won't even send you a letter. They won't even reach out and see if you're all right or if you need anything. They won't holler at your mama, you know what I'm saying, to see if she okay. And I'm talking about the ones that just slept on your mama's couch before. So all you need is a moment of clarity and it started making sense, you know. And yeah, so I got out and I said, man, you know, the best thing I could do is just get out from around my old crew. Yeah, man, because half of them, they was either doing the same thing or they was on their way where I just came from. I've changed, I've made some changes with myself, but yeah, I ain't really worried about what he gonna do. I'm worried about what I'm gonna do in response. So I just stay out the way. It's just discipline, you know, that came, cause I ain't gonna sit and say that when I got out, it's just been a clean slate. Yeah. I done fumbled a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I think probably through the grace of God, and it just wasn't my purpose to be incarcerated all my life or to go back on another charge. I was spared, you see what I'm saying? And I just kept on until I got it, you know? And I'm not even there yet, but I'm a whole lot better than what I was when I got out.
You gotta want to be better, but you know, you see cases all the time where you see people like addicts and drug abusers. They get out and they go back to the same thing they know because everybody around them is doing it. So what happens when, you know, you're in a situation like that and all you got is those people? You have nowhere else to go.
A lot of these cats, you know, including myself, they have what you call like addictive personality, for one. People think addiction, that word just stems around drugs, right? Or, you know, maybe overeating or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying, gambling. And that shit goes so much farther than that. You know, a lot of times a person have an addictive personality and they get addicted to a whole lot of different things. You could be addicted to the streets. You could be addicted to fucking up in the streets. You could be addicted to going back to prison. That sounds crazy. Because it's something that you know you don't like, you don't want your freedom to, you could be addicted to, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what this is gonna do. He said you can't expect to do wrong every day and never go to jail. What kind of sense does that make?
So what do you do to like keep your mind off of like being depressed or things like that?
Oh, that's easy. I've just discovered some principles, man, some key principles in my life, and I live and die by them, you hear me? I don't sit and sweat the things that I can't change because I feel like it don't got nothing to do with me, you hear me? I don't allow people to steal my peace, to steal my cool, or just get in my space in a negative way. I stay busy, bro. You know, I find things that I like to do, you know, things that I never knew I like to do. You know, and I just stay busy, you know, I got grandkids now, so, you know, I gotta be thinking on a whole nother level, you know. I keep it simple, and that generally helps me stand in a good state of mind, you know. I don't allow myself to get too high, too low. You know, of course, if you accomplish something or, you know, you hear some good news or whatever, take everything with a grain of salt, man. I don't allow myself to get too high, too low, and just try to stay grounded.
I heard that if you keep a busy mind, like it takes your mind off of like being depressed and things like that.
It's not as easy as it seems, but that's pretty much like common sense, because it's like the idle mind is a bad mind, right?
Right.
Because the mind is not built to sit and not have any thoughts. You're gonna think, right? If you're busy and you staying productive and doing something, you really don't have time for a bunch of bullshit. You look at bullshit different. Now, when you see conversations going left or whatever, you know, you know, okay, I see where this is going, let me go, you know. Before you might entertain it or whatever, but, you know, so yeah, you just gotta, man, you gotta always stay busy. You gotta know what you like, what's productive for you. Can't lose focus on the goal. The main thing gotta stay the main thing. And if you find yourself losing focus on the goal, you gotta go and identify what got you to that point, and you gotta immediately get it out your life.
So do you have people do you ever have clients that look in your eyes when you line them up?
Oh, God damn. That's crazy you asked me that. Man, you know, yeah, it happens, you know. Man, that shit used to throw me off. Growing up in the black community, you know, nothing against people that live their life in a different way. Just, you know, growing up in the black community, you know, that was always taboo, you know, growing up in my era. So we looked at it, you know, and some of them still do look at it a certain way. But yeah, I you know, they used to throw me off, man, and I don't handle it the same now, but you know, I may ask the client, hey, is everything all right? If I see that you know, is everything all right with you, you know? And I'm really letting him know, you know, you ain't got to make eye contact with me. You know, that we ain't got to do that. It ain't that deep, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to know why you doing it. Yeah, you got jokes today, young man. And what made you ask me that shit? I feel like that's something every man should have learned when you was little getting a haircut, you know.
Yeah, but see, the reason why I asked that is because just like you giving me a line, bro, it's just weird. Because if you look me in my eyes while you give me a line, I'm like, all right, bro. Like, what's up with you, bro? Like,
yeah, why is he looking at me?
Yeah, like, it's just weird. I don't know. Like,
it's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be weird because you're not supposed to be doing it. I mean, I don't feel like, I feel like it's only,
don't take this out of context.
I feel like it's only two situations where a man need to be making eye contact. If you finna do something to somebody, you looking them in the eye. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't even do something to him.
Like if you get into violent situation and you really finna go there, I may look you in the eye
to see what.
Yeah,
okay, I got you.
Or if I'm doing some business with someone and I'm trying to get an understanding, you know, then I'm gonna look you in the eye. I'm gonna give you a firm hand. Other than that, it ain't no reason, man. You know that ain't. Yeah, we ain't got to do that, homie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna stop you from doing it. You know.
You get the people some good advice out there.
Stay true to who you are. For a middle-aged man or a man of my age, sometimes it can be hard because everybody want to be young again, you know.
Yeah.
But I know I got my limits, you know. You ain't gonna see me in the super tight pants, and I ain't saying nothing wrong with them. It's just not for me. Certain things ain't gonna come out my mouth, you know. I have to stay true to who I am, you know, as a 50-year-old man. You hear me? So yeah, stay true to who you are, you know. Stand on something. And I ain't just speaking on, you know, I'm not speaking on just speaking on it. I'm speaking on let your actions be. Let it to be where you ain't never got to say nothing. And they can look at you and say, I know what he stand on, I know what he stand for. You feel me?
Nah, that's good. That's good. That's real. And that is it. I got the fresh fade, feeling good. You know, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Get me to 1,500. I need 1,500 by the next video drop. It'll probably be next week. But give me the 1,500. Like I said, like, comment, and subscribe.